Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For this week's read, for the main part of the read, I'm using the Astro Matrix Tarot. Here's the box. And astromatrix.org is the website on the back. Hopefully that'll focus. I don't think there was like a creator. There should have been. I don't know. Either my brain skipped a beat or it's just not there. If you go there and you want the deck, though, go there. I didn't see like a creator. It's just dawning on me now. For the support of Oracle cards, you are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on the back here is rockpoolpublishing.com.au, A as an apple, U as an umbrella. I have updated dice. So I have a 22-sided dice I'm going to use for the major arcana. I'm using number 22 as the Fool, so I'm making that adaptation. And I get a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element it's going to represent. And mathartfun.com is the website for that one. Hopefully you can see that website if you're interested. Okay. And with that, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. And let's go on to your read. Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Virgo? That was a dramatic flip. Sun card. Love the Sun card. Oh, that's your card. Okay. Let's careful. You gotta be careful about your thoughts in this one. Okay. Because I'm looking at this one thing and I'm like, how is this a good outcome? But it is. I get it. Let's just get there. The situation is contrary to what you're used to, is what I keep getting. It's kind of staying the same at the moment. Not a lot has happened at the moment. And it's not bad, but it's not very exciting. It's very contrary. It's kind of like, I don't know what's going on here, but it's not bad, so I guess I'm going to leave it be. And you're actually, believe it or not, there's a lot of healing going on with you right now. I feel like a lot of you would be like, I don't see where. Because there's nothing happening. Yeah, there's nothing happening. Again, the King of Wands reversed, which is, to me, no action. But I also get the Hermit card upside down on the dice. I'm not even thinking about it, so how am I healing? I keep getting that. Like, I feel like I would question it. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, but you're stepping back, and the reality of whatever the situation is really taking hold. I don't understand how it's happening, because I don't see it in your thoughts. I don't see anything happening in this situation, but something is healing, and something is going to go a lot better for you. I feel like you've already seen the truth. Whatever the situation is, you've already seen the truth, and you've actually disconnected from it. But it's this desert period. It's this period of not doing anything with it, nothing happening, that's actually cementing that in. So it does kind of remind me of cement, in the sense of like, you leave it alone, leave it out in the air, and it hardens and it gets really firm, and that's where it's staying. Versus like if you're messing with it, or if you're covering it up, or you're not letting it actually dry, it doesn't really do what it's supposed to. I don't know a lot about cement, but I want to say if you don't give it the air it needs, and you don't take the moisture out of it in some fashion, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It has to be given time to air out and dry. I feel like there might be a little bit of heat that needs to happen there too, but I could be wrong. But you know what I mean? Because you haven't been doing anything with it, it's literally been solidifying. You already knew what you felt, but this is like, the longer it goes, the stronger you get with it. All right, so that being said, nothing's happening. Things seem to be very good. self-acceptance. This is very interesting because something is coming up. 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and then the Queen of Pentacles. Don't get caught up in the gender, but I get like the way this is going to start coming back in. It's not going to bother you when it first starts to show up. Little random moments showing up here and there. I already know how I feel, so if it's not compatible with me, I'm not going to participate. It's almost like having a relative, and it's kind of like I don't really care for that relative. And maybe before I would show up to the party that they're throwing, but like I'm like there's been so much time, nothing has happened for the longest time, and I don't feel like just because I'm invited I have to show up. In fact, I'm not going to. Maybe before you would have, for whatever reason you would have, but you're like, you know what? There's been so much time. I haven't had to deal with them for so long, and I already decided I was done with them, so why would I go? Why bother? I'm not going to do it. And it feels good at first. And I'm saying it first because I feel like you're going to question yourself is what's going to happen. There's this energy showing up, which could be a person. Normally, I'm seeing it could be a person. Like usually you use the court cards for people, but I'm getting this could be a person who's kind of like, oh, Virgo, you're not going, or oh, Virgo, you didn't go to that. Why didn't you go to that? I think you should go to that, because then we can all get along, especially if it's a family member, which it doesn't have to be, it's just a general read, but it's kind of like, I think you should go, Virgo, because we can all get along, and you're kind of causing problems by standing up for yourself. Having your own backbone is not how we work in this family. I don't know why I'm going there, but there you go. Take it with a grain of salt. You're going to have the need to get along and do what other people want you to do. You're going to backslide. You're going to go to... The advice is to not do not appease people. If you can, distance yourself from people who want you to do that. Put some distance between you and whoever this may be for a while. Don't go along with that. What they're advising you to do is look at where your success is. Look at where it's been better. This is that healing we were talking about. Even though nothing was happening, you were getting stronger in the sense of like, I like the fact that nothing's happening in this section of my life. I like that that's done. I like that that's over. I don't want to get back into it. I don't want to start building back into that. I don't want to do that again. I had enough. Nothing happened for the longest time. Let's keep it that way. Be that leader. Hold on to your success. Don't let somebody take your success from you. In fact, when I'm feeling Virgo, if you look at it in terms of success and realize you have been successful with this situation, you have a really strong chance that you're not going to go backwards. You're not going to let that happen. You've enjoyed it so much. You really have. That's what I'm getting. That's the healing part. You don't want to go backwards. Don't go backwards. You don't want to. Don't do it. There's pressure here. There is pressure here. You may have to redefine connections or relationships. Other people, there might be more than one problem here. And you might be discovering more levels of problems or more people who are problems here that maybe you didn't see them as the problems that they really are. Maybe you kind of knew that they were a little bit problematic, but maybe they're more of a problem than problematic. Maybe they're more toxic than problematic. There's a difference. Like problematic people, they just seem to do the same thing and they don't really think about it. Toxic people, like, they cause damage and they keep causing damage and they think they're right when they're wrong. It's different levels of pain, different levels of not addressing the problem and not willing to look at it. Problematic you can sometimes reason with, in my opinion. Toxic people, very, very hard to reason with. So maybe level of difficulty. Take it with a grain of salt. You got the King of Pentacles, you got the Empress here. On their own are not usually bad cards, but this is one of those things where if somebody has this idea, like this is where you fit, this is where you're supposed to be, you need to go back there, Virgo, and that's not a good place for you, maybe you have to disconnect from that person because they have their own toxic behavior and they have to heal on their own. There's also this other person who feels like, I know what's best for everybody. This might be an out of balance Empress. You need to do this so that, it can take the pressure off of other people. You need to take your part of the burden so that the rest of us don't have to take on your share too. Maybe it doesn't need to be anybody's share. Maybe a weird energy with this. Energy coming back towards you. There's questions and things. If you're the first person in this situation, especially if it's a family situation, to stand up for yourself, other people don't like it because it may be more of a jealousy thing, kind of like, how come you don't have to deal with this and the rest of us do? Well, I didn't say the rest of you had to. Not for nothing. For some of you, I feel like this might be that thing. You decided not to put up with it and walk away from it. And other people are like, how come you don't have to deal with that? How come we have to take on your share and you get to walk away? Well, you can walk away too. If I'm going to use a really good, I hate that I'm saying that, really good analogy, maybe you have a toxic parent and you're no longer putting up with it anymore. And your siblings and relatives think that, you're obligated to. And maybe they feel like they're obligated to as well. No. If somebody's very toxic and somebody's very demeaning to you, you don't have to put up with that. Just because they're related to you? No. This is where this becomes a challenge because there's a lot of pressure coming in. You're going to question yourself, but you have the most healing that could come out of this. You got a lot more healing that could come out of this again. It's still there. All you have to do is not go back to it. Keep going the direction you want to be. Keep being happy where you're happy. Don't put up with it. Don't go back into it. Nothing has happened for the longest time, but now people are trying to pull you back in. Don't let them do it. If you're able to do that, what's going to happen is you're going to realize that there might be more people that you have to disconnect from. You may have to. Because they just keep trying to pull you back. And if you're not going to let them, and they just keep complaining that you're not letting them pull you back into something you don't want to be a part of, you may have to move forward without them. And you might also find out that these are people who can't overcome certain trauma. Maybe you're overcoming trauma the best you can. Maybe you're doing better. And they're like, well, that's not fair that you're getting better and I'm not. So if I can't get better, you can't get better. Well, maybe it's time to just disconnect from them too. I hate to say it, but it may be the thing. If people just want to double down on their bad behavior and they don't want to heal, you can't heal them. They have to heal themselves. There may be more people walking away from this situation, or maybe you walking away because you won't play the game the way that they want you to. But sometimes that's the cost of healing. And the longer you go, the better it's going to feel. Long term, you will feel better. Long term, you'll be happier that you did that. Other people will filter into your life. Things will get better. But don't let somebody bully you into backsliding. Don't let somebody, keep your healing. Go with the healing. Go with what you want. Be happy that you have it. If it costs you more people, I know, I just feel like, I know that sounds bad, but and who knows, if you have a small family, large family, medium-sized family, whatever it is, or if it's a friend group, especially if it's a friend group, don't put up with a toxic person just because other people want you to. Don't do that. Stick with your morals. People are going to mess with you and get you to second guess yourself. This might be a time, if this reading is really hitting and is boring right now, and you're like, yeah, I know who you're talking about, I'm not going to backslide. It's not going to happen. This might be a great time to write down all the reasons why you walked away from that connection. That way, when these people start, if that happens, if it does, where they start getting you to second guess yourself, you can just go back to this list and go, you know what, there's 50 things on this list. These people want me to go back to that? Not happening. And it might empower you when they're pushing at you and you're starting to second guess yourself. That list might empower you to be like, oh my God, there's 50 things here. No, I'm not doing anything wrong. And if these people think so, that's a them problem. I said that with Leo too. That's a them problem. Is there anything else with this? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.